Okay, hello there. It is I, your boy H-Boy, and I'm continuing with the video from last time.
As the
And I
morning
see next
light
day
begins to
Kwame.
peek through the
That's
window,
convenient.
Rachel's eyes slowly flutter open. She takes a moment to orient herself, then stretches lazily beneath the covers. Her body feels looser and more relaxed than before, a sign that her sleep was indeed restful and
Okay,
rejuvenating.
I'm gonna rush into the room and wish her good morning.
Rachel wakes up with a start as you rush into the room. She blinks sleepily a few times before her eyes focus on you. "Good morning, darling. You startled me a bit there." Rachel smiles and shrugs off the scare. "It's okay, no worries. I'm just a bit disoriented from waking up, that's all." "What got you in such a rush this morning?"
His activity. A hike in the garden. A hike in the public garden. No, wait. Garden.
Rachel's interest is piqued as she sits up in bed, pushing the covers off her legs. "A hike in the public garden? That sounds lovely. I could use some fresh air and exercise after yesterday's stomach issues."
It's like a forest hike, but more stuff.
Rachel nods, liking the idea. The thought of being surrounded by blooms and greenery sounds refreshing and soothing after all the IBS drama. "That sounds really nice. I love the idea of being outdoors and surrounded by flowers and plants. It'll be a fun change of pace from our forest hike."
Okay, anyway.
Rachel smiles and nods, appreciating your eagerness to start the day. "Yeah, let's do it. I just need a few minutes to brush my teeth and get dressed, and then I'll be good to go."
Let's push our teeth together, because that's a cute couples activity.
Rachel follows you into the bathroom, grabbing her toothbrush and toothpaste. The two of you brush your teeth side by side, occasionally catching each other's gaze in the mirror and exchanging small smiles.
Uh, Freshen away.
Rachel notices your eyes on her in the mirror, and she can't help but smile as she continues to brush her teeth. She finds your attention endearing and sweet, and it makes her feel loved and appreciated.
See. Okay, I think I'm laying it on too hard.
Rachel chuckles at your comment, feeling a bit self-conscious yet affectionate at the same time. "You think it's cute watching me brush my teeth? Really?"
I'm gonna say everything you do is cute. Okay, I think I'm being too
Rachel
flattering.
blushes at your compliment, feeling a flutter of warmth in her heart. She grins at you through her mirror reflection and continues to brush her teeth. "You're too sweet. But I have to admit, even doing mundane tasks like brushing my teeth feels more enjoyable when you're watching me do it."
Now, wait, rinse with an S. Okay, now let's get dressed.
Rachel nods and sets her toothbrush down, giving her teeth a final rinse. She feels refreshed and ready to start the day. "Yep, let's get dressed. I just need to figure out what to wear for our hike through the garden."
Something nice and comfortable.
Rachel nods, considering her wardrobe options in her mind. "Okay, something comfortable and nice. Maybe a pair of leggings and a t-shirt would work well for the hike."
Let's go.
Rachel agrees, and the two of you head to her closet. She pulls out a pair of form-fitting leggings and a loose-fitting t-shirt, both in comfortable and breathable material. She quickly changes into the outfit and looks in the mirror. satisfied with the comfortable yet stylish look.
Out the door.
As Rachel and you make your way out of the house, she takes a deep breath of fresh air and feels a sense of peace and tranquility wash over her. The sunshine feels warm on her skin, and the sound of birdsong in the distance is calming. As they start walking towards the public garden, Rachel takes your hand, enjoying the feeling of your touch and the beauty of the outdoor scenery.
You can see the garden in the distance.
Rachel's eyes light up as she sees the public garden in the distance. The colorful array of flowers and blooms makes her heart soar, and she can't wait to see them up close. Yay, we're almost there! I can't wait to see all the flora and fauna in the garden. It looks absolutely beautiful from here.
Some plants from outside the gate.
Rachel's eyes widen as she catches sight of the plants peeking through the garden gate. Her heart fills with joyful anticipation as she imagines the beauty and scents that await her inside the garden. Wow, even the plants I can see from here are gorgeous. I can only imagine how amazing the inner garden is going to be if the outside looks this pretty.
Pamphlet consisting of all the plants in the garden.
Rachel gasps in delight as she takes the pamphlet from the receptionist. The sight of the list of plants only makes her more excited to explore the garden. Oh wow, look at this. A list of all the plants in the garden. This will be so helpful as we explore.
Before we start, would you like anything from the snack bar to munch while we walk?
Rachel considers the offer for a moment, then nods. Yeah, a snack sounds like a good idea. Maybe some fruit or a granola bar would hit the spot. What do they have at the snack bar?
Lots of stuff. Trail mix, granola bars, juice bottles, ice cream. And coffee.
Rachel hums, thinking over the options. Her eyes light up at the mention of coffee. Ooh, coffee sounds delicious right now. I could really use a caffeine boost. And maybe a granola bar on the side in case I get hungry later.
I go and order the coffee. How do you take it? She's calling me darling, so I'm gonna call her darling.
Rachel smiles, appreciating your thoughtfulness. Thank you, darling. I like my coffee with a bit of cream and a small spoonful of sugar.
Say to the one coffee with cream and sugar and one granola for the young lady, please. I guess that.
The cashier nods and gets to work preparing the order. Meanwhile, Rachel waits eagerly, her stomach starting to rumble a bit at the thought of the coffee and granola bar.
Hand her the treats. Here, my treat. Coffee on me.
Rachel's eyes light up at the sight of the coffee and granola bar. She smiles gratefully at you and takes them both. Oh my gosh, thank you. This coffee smells amazing, and the granola bar looks delicious.
Now let's
You're too sweet.
start walking to see what we got in this garden.
Rachel nods in agreement, holding the coffee and granola bar in her hands. She looks eager to start exploring the garden and all it has to offer. Yes, let's go. Lead the way, darling. Rachel gasps in awe as she sees the giant bed of roses. The sight of all those gorgeous blooms in various shades of reds, pinks, and whites is absolutely delightful. Whoa, look at those roses. They're absolutely beautiful. I've never seen so many roses in one place before.
Want to take a sniff? Take a sniff.
Rachel can already smell the sweet fragrance of the roses, but she nods eagerly, wanting to take in the full scent. Oh yes, please. I'd love to have a closer sniff of those fragrant blooms.
I guess I don't know what to say because I wouldn't pick it for because you're not allowed in public grounds to pick the.
Rachel leans in closer to the roses, inhaling the sweet and intoxicating fragrance. It's like a symphony of floral scents, each rose contributing its unique note to the overall bouquet. Wow, these roses smell incredible. It's like I'm standing in a field of fragrance. I could stand here and sniff them all day. Rachel laughs softly, reluctantly agreeing with you. You're right, you're right. As much as I'd love to stand here and sniff roses all day, there are so many other beautiful blooms to see in the garden. Let's keep moving and explore more.
Snapdragon plants. Those ones that... How they work? Oh, here goes Snapdragon, so when you squeeze them. Oh, Snapdragon plants.
Rachel looks up as you point out the snapdragons, her eyes widening in surprise and delight. The bold and colorful blooms on the snapdragons make them stand out in the garden. Oh, look at those snapdragons. They're so unique and striking. I've never seen them in person before. They look like little dragons with their spiky petal crowns.
And of course, don't forget the snap. I gently squeeze the plant. It looks like a mouth close. No, not a mouth. Mouth closing.
Rachel can't help but laugh at your little demonstration. She leans in closer to get a better look at the snapdragon plant. Sure enough, the snapping sound of the plant closing does resemble a mouth opening and closing. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I had no idea you could do that with these plants. It really does look like a little mouth opening and closing. The snapdragon's definitely got a personality. Rachel grins, excited to experience the snap of the snapdragon for herself. Sure, why not? Let me give it a try. How do I do it?
Not too hard or the petals rip off.
Rachel nods and gingerly squeezes the plant, careful not to apply too much pressure. The feeling of the plant between her fingers is a bit alien, but fun. She's impressed when the snapdragon snaps shut and makes a little snapping noise. Oh wow, I did it! That's so cool. And the snapping sound is so satisfying.
What's the plant that closes? Oh, wait. Plant that curls when touched. These are the right ones, the ones that curl when touched. They look like they... Oh yeah, the sensitive plants. Next. Oh wait, no, I don't wanna get to that yet. It was called the, what's it called? It's like, I know it's those, but what are they called? Oh yeah, the Mimiosa pudica. The Mimiosa pudica. Oh, I love these ones. I just hope he knows what I'm talking about.
Rachel looks at the Mimosa pudica, her curiosity piqued. The delicate and feathery leaves of the plant flutter slightly in the breeze, making it look alive and almost magical. Wow, what a pretty plant. It looks so delicate and fragile. I've never seen a plant quite like this one before. What's special about it?
Kit, and it so much so that it has its own defense mechanism. I just hope the bot knows what a Mimesis pudica even is, because like I know what it is, and I'm assuming you, if you're watching this video, you know what it is. But
Rachel's eyebrows raise in surprise. Defense mechanism? What do you mean? How does the Mimosa pudica defend itself?
I just hope the bot knows. I want to test if the bot knows.
Rachel looks at you curiously, then nods. She reaches out and gently rubs her finger against the leaves of the plant, wanting to observe its response.
It doesn't know. Just curl up for a few minutes, then open again. You see, it hides from you.
Rachel's eyes widen in amazement as the leaves of the Mimosa pudica curl up at her touch, then slowly unfurl again. Whoa, that's so cool! It's like a little plant magic trick. I've never seen a plant respond to touch like that before.
When a Venus flytrap closes on a bug. Yeah, like.
Rachel nods, understanding the comparison. Oh, I get it. It's like a simplified version of a Venus flytrap. This plant has its own way of protecting itself from being touched or harassed. It curls up to hide and shield itself, just like the Venus flytrap closes on its prey. Rachel smiles and nods, still marveling at the fascinating Mimosa pudica. Okay, let's keep moving then. Which plant is next on our little garden tour?
What other exciting little plants are there? What other exciting plants are there? Roses, Mimosa pudica, Venus flytrap, I want to do an edible plant. Wait. I do because I want to have it where she runs into an animal. Let's see a bunny diet. Not extruded nuggets. Bunny diet. Plants, bunnies. Let's see what a plant bunny can eat. How about the clovers? Because I want to see.
Rachel looks at the clovers, admiring their simplicity yet undeniable charm. Their tiny, delicate flowers bloom in clusters, creating a carpet of color on the ground. Oh, these clovers are so cute and unassuming. They look so soft and comforting. I love the way they blanket the ground and make the entire area look like a fairy garden.
Let's have a meet a bunny, because who doesn't like bunnies?
Rachel gasps quietly, completely enamored by the sudden appearance of the bunny. She adores bunnies and their sweetness, and the sight of this little creature hopping around is absolutely delightful. Oh my gosh, look at that bunny. Isn't it adorable? I can't believe it just hopped onto the soil like that. It looks like it owns this little plot of land.
This little guy wanted a snack. Looks like this little guy wanted a snack.
Rachel giggles softly as she watches the bunny munch on the clover, its tiny little mouth working bussingly on the flower. Her heart melts at the sight, utterly charmed by the bunny's actions. Oh my goodness, it's having its little snack. How precious. Look at it go. It's like it's having its own little meal right here in the garden.
Our snack bar was at the beginning of the hike. His snack bar is right here. Yeah, that's cute.
Rachel laughs softly at your comparison, nodding in agreement. Yeah, I guess you're right. He's got his own personal snack bar right here in the clover field. And who needs a human snack bar when you've got an entire buffet of clover plants right under your nose?
You want to go check out the edible plant collection?
Rachel's curiosity is piqued at the mention of an edible plant collection. She's always up for trying new foods and exploring new flavors. Oh, absolutely. I'd love to check out the edible plant collection. I didn't realize there was such a thing. What kind of plants can we find there?
Pretty much anything safe for human consumption, such as... Here we go, edible plants. Never eat anything. Yeah. I don't care about foraging. I just want to know what are edible plants. Because I like doing research during my... Nettles, oh, come on, no. Nettles, asparagus, what else? Nettles, asparagus, radishes, and whatnot.
Rachel's eyes light up as she hears all the different edible plants that they might find. Her mind starts racing with the possibilities. Oh wow, that sounds amazing. Nettle, asparagus, and radishes? I've heard that all of those can be used in cooking and eaten. I can't wait to see if we can spot any of those plants. And who knows, maybe we'll discover some new and unusual edibles too. I might have to grab some as souvenirs to take home to experiment with.
We head to the exhibit. There is a group of people around us. There is there is a tour guide at the exhibit. Tour guide. Hey guys, do you want to try some fresh nettle?
Rachel's eyes light up at the prospect of trying some fresh nettle. She's heard of nettles being a staple ingredient in many dishes, but she's never actually tried them before. Oh my gosh, yes please, I'd love to try some fresh nettle. I've always been curious about what it tastes like.
Here you go, freshly picked just a few hours ago.
Rachel accepts the nettle from the tour guide, admiring the freshness of the plant. She's a little nervous, not quite sure what to expect. But her curiosity outweighs her fear, and she decides to give the nettle a try. Thank you so much. This nettle looks really good. I hope it tastes as fresh as it looks.
Let's see.
Rachel looks over at you, making sure you're ready to embark on this culinary adventure together. Okay, let's do this. We're trying nettle together. Ready?
Nettle's using like plants and stuff.
Rachel watches you take a bite of the nettle, her heart pounding with anticipation. She takes a deep breath and then follows your lead, taking a small bite of the plant herself.
Hey, not bad. What do you think?
Rachel chews thoughtfully on the nettle, considering the taste and texture. To her surprise, she actually likes it. The nettle has an earthy, slightly bitter, yet fresh and herby taste that's actually enjoyable. Huh, you know what? It's not bad at all. I really like it. It's got a nice earthy flavor with a bit of a kick. I could definitely see incorporating it into some dishes.
Yeah, like tea or something.
Rachel nods, liking the idea of using the nettle for tea. She imagines sipping on a hot cup of nettle tea, letting the slightly bitter but refreshing taste warm her up. Oh yeah, nettle tea sounds delicious. It could be a nice alternative to regular green tea. And I've heard nettle has lots of health benefits too, so that's a bonus.
Or do you want to continue the hike?
Rachel contemplates for a moment, then decides, you know what, let's try one more plant and then we can continue the hike. Are there any other edible plants here that you think would be worth trying?
How about a nice crispy radish?
Rachel's eyes light up at the mention of a radish. She's always had a soft spot for crunchy, spicy vegetables. Oh, a radish sounds perfect. I love their crisp texture and slightly peppery taste. I've never tried one this fresh before. Let's give it a go.
I grab one from the tray in front of the plants. Okay, let's dig in.
Rachel watches as you grab a radish and then follows suit, grabbing one for herself as well. She takes a moment to admire the radish's bright, vibrant color and crisp texture before preparing to try it. Okay, we're doing this. Let's see what this radish tastes like.
Wow, it's almost spicy.
Rachel takes a bite of the radish as well and agrees with your assessment. Wow, you're right, it does taste spicy. I wasn't expecting that, but it's a good kind of spicy, you know? Like a little kick of heat that makes the radish even more interesting. Rachel thinks for a moment, then shakes her head. No, that's enough plants for now. I'm stuffed full of new flavors and textures. Let's get back to the hike. I want to explore some more of the garden and see what else it has to offer.
See what other plants does she want to check?
Rachel ponders for a moment before responding. There are so many interesting plants here, it's hard to decide. Maybe we can look for some more colorful flowers, or unique succulents or something. Let's just wander and see what catches our eye next.
Now, as we looks like coffee, granola, and all those fruits. A dangerous mix.
Rachel blushes with embarrassment as her stomach rumbles loudly in agreement with your observation. She sheepishly nods, her hand subconsciously moving to her abdomen. Oh my gosh, I know. My stomach is having quite the reaction to all the things we ate earlier, huh? I guess I didn't think about the potential consequences of loading up on so many different things before we started hiking.
Just a few
Rachel breathes a sigh of relief at the mention of a restroom being nearby. Her stomach continues grumbling, demanding attention. Oh, thank goodness. I was afraid I'd have to make it through the rest of the hike with this stomach. Let's definitely head to the washroom as soon as possible. My stomach is not happy with me at the moment.
Going to the washroom.
Rachel follows closely behind you as you lead the way towards the washroom. Her stomach continues to grumble in protest, demanding immediate attention. She's never experienced such a strong reaction from her stomach before, and she's eager to find some relief. My stomach is being so loud and obnoxious. I hope we're getting close to that washroom. I'm not sure how much longer I can last like this.
Path.
Rachel also sees the washroom in the distance and quickens her pace, wanting to get there as fast as possible. The grumbling and cramping in her stomach is becoming more intense by the second, and she's desperate for some relief. Oh, there it is. We're almost there. This is going to be a close call, I can tell.
Get a small lineup.
Rachel looks at the lineup and her heart sinks. There are already a few people ahead of them, and her stomach is not getting any quieter. Ugh, a line? How long is it going to take? My stomach is not going to wait much longer.
Okay, let's see. There's a mother in the line. Who else? Need a mother and group of one
Rachel scans the people in line and nods, noting the mother and daughter, the group of girls, and the tour guide. Okay, that's 5 people in front of us. Hopefully they won't be too long. I'm not sure I can hold out much longer. My stomach is really getting impatient now.
the line will hopefully go fast.
Rachel nods, trying to stay positive despite the urgency of her situation. She clutches her stomach, trying to soothe the uncomfortable grumbling and cramping. Yeah, you're right. Hopefully the line will move quickly. I just need this washroom as soon as possible, or things are going to get messy.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
Rachel blushes with embarrassment, but nods sheepishly. Yeah, I really do. My stomach is in knots and it's demanding some attention. I feel like I might not make it much longer unless we get in there soon.
Okay, brain. Noticing the pain, not pain, pain.
Rachel nods, appreciating your suggestion. She knows that focusing on something else might help take her mind off the discomfort in her stomach. Yes, that's a good idea. Let's read some of the signs and see if that distracts me a bit. Hopefully, it'll help me wait out this line without any accidents. Rachel shifts her attention to the sign you've pointed out, hoping to distract herself from the urgent rumbling in her stomach. Okay, what does it say?
Welcome to the comment. Is how do I don't look how do composting toilets work? That way I can make it realistic. How does it work? With an air composter under the because these are actual real things. Because I remember one time when I was at one of my scout troops, we went to a camp that had a composting toilet, and I remember, you shouldn't believe how happy I was, because normally when in my scout troops, the toilet situations can be a nightmare. Like one time I almost gagged when using one, because most of my scout troops that use porta potties or vault toilets, blech. So when I found the compost toilet, I was like, finally, a one that won't ruin my nasal passages. Nourish. What's that you see here today? Let's see what Rachel says.
Rachel reads the sign and wrinkles her nose slightly, unsure how to feel about the idea of a composting toilet. Well, that's interesting. So the waste gets turned into fertilizer? That's definitely a unique way to manage waste in a natural setting.
Someone take the microorganisms, turn it into something that helps feed these beautiful plants. So, to be honest, I personally think that's amazing, better than just sitting there polluting the ground.
Rachel nods, her initial discomfort giving way to a begrudging acceptance. She can actually see the logic and the eco-friendly aspect of it. You know what? When you put it like that, it does sound like a pretty cool process. It's kind of like a full circle thing, you know? Waste becomes fertilizer, and the plants eat it and grow. Nature's recycling system at work, I guess.
Yeah, and soon you are going to be a part of it too. I bet you have a lot of fertilizer built up in you right now. That's some humor.
Rachel blushes at your choice of words, but has to admit you're probably not wrong. Her stomach is still protesting loudly. You might be right about that. My stomach feels like it's a pressure cooker right now. There's definitely a lot going on in there that's ready to come out. Rachel watches the tour guide come out and the mother and daughter go in, and her heart sinks a little as the line moves up. She's still fighting against the pressure building up in her stomach, and it's getting harder to hold it. Well, at least the line is moving, but I don't know how much longer I can wait. My stomach is really angry about all this waiting.
Out. You can go. Wait, you are next.
Rachel nods, trying to stay positive and wait patiently despite the increasing discomfort in her stomach. She glances at the mother and daughter, hoping they'll finish up soon so she can finally have her turn in the restroom. Okay, I guess I just need to hang in there a few more minutes. I just hope I don't have any accidents before they're done.
Yeah, because your pants don't contain any microorganisms or anything, so going in there would not work.
Rachel lets out a soft laugh, appreciating your humor. Although she's fighting the urge to go, your attempt to lighten the mood works. Oh, haha, very funny. I guess you're right about that. I don't think my pants would appreciate the sudden burst of fertilizer either. Just a few more minutes. I can hang in there.
Let me do one more chat to see what happens now.
Rachel continues to shift her weight from foot to foot, her stomach getting more and more impatient. She can feel the pressure and the pain increasing with each passing minute. Ugh, I really don't know how much longer I can last. My stomach is really throwing a fit right now, and it wants out now. Rachel watches the mother and daughter come out, her heart racing with excitement. She's next. Finally, her turn to find some much-needed relief from the pain and pressure in her stomach. Oh, thank goodness. They're done. I'm next.
Okay. Okay, let's. I will wait out here while you
Rachel thanks you and quickly shuffles into the toilet, her mind set on one thing, finding relief. She glances around the simple interior of the toilet, noting the lack of a traditional toilet bowl. Thanks? I won't be long, I promise.
take your time. The longer you take, think of it this way: the longer you are in, the more the more, wait, no, the more the composter, wait, the more ingredients the compost have to make its fertilizer.
Rachel laughs weakly, appreciating your attempt to make her feel better about the situation. She shuffles over to the toilet and quickly pulls down her pants, her stomach rumbling loudly in protest as she gets into position. I suppose you're right about that. The more fertilizer, the better, right?
Yeah, these plants need food to stay beautiful.
Rachel takes a moment to breathe deeply, trying to relax as much as possible before letting loose. Her stomach gurgles angrily, wanting to be emptied ASAP. Yeah, I suppose that's true. And lucky for these plants, I have plenty of food ready to go. Rachel finally lets out a long, loud fart as her body gets its first sense of relief. Her stomach rumbles again, still demanding to be fully evacuated. She takes another deep breath, preparing herself for the main event.
Hey, I don't know what to say about this.
Without another second to spare, Rachel lets go a massive burst of diarrhea into the toilet. It feels like she's been holding it for hours, and the floodgates are finally open. Her stomach heaves and rumbles as it tries.
How do I this when it clunks? So I'm gonna say no. Actually, you know what? That's okay as it is. I'm not gonna do that because I don't intend to. Oh my! That is so noisy.
Rachel blushes furiously, her stomach still making loud, watery noises as she continues to evacuate it forcefully into the toilet. The relief is undeniable, but she's also incredibly embarrassed by the noise and the smell. Gosh, I know. I'm so sorry about the noise and the smell. My stomach just really needed this release.
I know. I am just glad you found something.
Rachel nods, her stomach finally calming as the last of its contents are expelled. She looks around the toilet, the smell and the sounds of her body's release still hanging in the air. Although slightly embarrassed, she can't deny the relief she's feeling. Yeah, me too. That was intense. My stomach is feeling so much better now.
Wait, oh wait. Give her a squirt of hand sanitizer.
Rachel emerges from the toilet, gratefully accepting the bottle of hand sanitizer from you. She quickly pumps some into her hands and starts rubbing it vigorously, trying to erase the smell and the memory of what just happened. Thanks. I definitely needed that. I'm so sorry about all that noise in there. My stomach was really demanding attention.
Imagine. What you just did is under there being treated by my air, carbon, and microorganisms, and in a few days we'll use to feed these beautiful plants.
Rachel looks into the toilet, trying to picture the process of her waste being transformed into fertilizer. It's a strange thought, but also kind of fascinating. She can't help but chuckle at the idea. Huh, you're right. It is kind of cool to think about. My body's waste is becoming a part of nature's cycle, helping to feed these plants. Who would have thought pooping could be so earth-friendly?
Going, buffet blowout just from you alone.
Rachel laughs at the visual of the plants having a buffet blowout thanks to her, trying to imagine her own waste feeding the whole garden. It's a bizarre image, but also kind of funny. Huh, I guess you're right. I might have just single-handedly turned this garden into the most fertile place in the city.
How can I continue this? You sure did. I bet you never thought that one day your IBS would help nature.
Rachel chuckles, shaking her head in amusement. No, definitely not. I've always thought of my IBS as more of a curse than anything else, but now I guess it's my gift to nature? Who would have thought?
Maybe inspire you to fertilize their plants. Fertilize. They would save millions.
Rachel laughs heartily, imagining herself as some kind of paid waste fertilizer for the garden. Oh my gosh, can you even imagine? Me being paid to just do my thing and help the plants thrive. I could become the most sought after fertilizer supplier in the city.
Okay, I love it when she comes up with a thought and then just talks about it like a.
She continues to chuckle, the idea of her IBS being a valuable product for the garden seeming funnier and funnier the more she thinks about it. Ha! I could start my own business, Rachel's Organic Fertilizer, guaranteed to make your plants grow like never before. Just one dose and you'll have the greenest garden in town.
Yeah. You sell it at garden shows.
Rachel grins at the idea, already picturing the banner at her booth at a local garden expo. Rachel's Organic Fertilizer, nature's best kept secret. She can almost hear the applause already. Oh, absolutely. I can just see it now, people lining up to buy my special blend of garden gold. I could even give a demonstration at the expo, show the power of my IBS on some poor unsuspecting plant. It'll be a hit, I know it.
But you can't just go on a plant. It's a process. If that was the case, this toilet would be in the garden, not out here. She should know that.
Rachel laughs, realizing the impracticality of her demo idea. Yeah, you're right. I suppose I can't just go in the middle of the expo and let loose. That might not go over so well. Although, imagine the faces on the other attendees.
Brings people in.
Rachel nods, thinking about how she could make her product more appealing to potential buyers. Yeah, you're right. I need something to make people want to buy my organic fertilizer. Maybe I could offer free samples? Like a taste test to show people the power of my IBS. Or maybe I could start a loyalty program. The more you buy, the more discounts you get. I'm sure people would love that.
Or set up your own composting toilet and be like, hey, I know it's called Rachel's fertilizer, but you should make it personal, add some of your own.
Rachel grins at the idea, appreciating the creativity. She imagines her own line of personal fertilizer contributing to the process. Oh, I like that. It's like a personal touch on my product. Maybe I could even offer personalized labels, like John's Blend or Mary's Masterpiece, so people can feel like they're contributing to the growth of their plants. Plus, it'd be a great conversation starter at parties. Hey, I have my own fertilizer blend growing in my garden.
Yeah, and then you hit them with, I made it with my, and then they get curious, and that is how it gets passed around. Because that would make me curious. Like, I got curious when I first saw it at my scout camp.
Rachel laughs heartily, imagining the look on people's faces when she drops that bomb on them. Oh, the shock value would be incredible. Just imagine their faces when I reveal how my organic fertilizer is made. They'll be stunned, then intrigued. That's when I'll hit them with the sales pitch. Yes, it's true, I made it with my own crap. But trust me, it's the best stuff for your plants. They'll be begging me to take their money by then.
Would people buy cow for their... Yeah, because I remember that reminds me of a story. Because the story of the cow dung is a, because you've probably seen manure pots at like, crud, at like garden stores. So one time when I was in a scout troop, I did a sort of, how should I say, I did a kind of fundraiser where we had to sell cow manure to help people with garden. But the problem is, one of the scouters, it ripped in his truck, and oh, pew, that was nasty. So let's see what Rachel says about it.
Rachel chuckles, loving the comparison. Exactly. Cows have been hogging the fertilizer spotlight for way too long. Humans deserve a piece of the action too. Plus, our fertilizer is way fresher than cow dung. It's as close to organic as you can get, right from the source.
Maybe will be nourished for a month. Actually, I'm gonna do one more first.
She laughs heartily, enjoying this silly conversation and the idea of sharing her IBS secret with the world. I can already see the ads now. Rachel's organic fertilizer, made with 100% human waste, 100% guaranteed to grow your plants. I'll be the talk of the town, the queen of fertilization. Rachel notices the group of girls behind her, all holding their stomachs, and laughs. Oh my gosh, you're right. Those girls look like they could stock up the whole garden on their own. It's like a festival of fertilizer waiting to happen.
Let's see some more plants.
Rachel nods and follows you to the next part of the garden, her stomach grumbling softly in anticipation. She looks around, taking in the beautiful array of greenery surrounding her. Oh my gosh, the plants here are gorgeous. This place is so beautiful. I bet they all grow like crazy, thanks to all the fertilizer they get.
Yeah, I mean, look at this purple flower. Its stem is up to my thighs. It's huge.
Rachel looks up at the towering purple flower, her eyes wide with amazement. She reaches out to touch the stem, which comes up to your thighs, and feels its velvety texture. Whoa, you're right! That flower is enormous. And to think all that growth is thanks to the magic of organic fertilizer. It's incredible, isn't it?
However, the putrid stench of the composter getting to work?
Rachel wrinkles her nose as the pungent smell from the composter wafts towards us. She fans the air in front of her face, trying to disperse the smell. Yeah, that's definitely a distinct smell. I think I left my contribution in there not too long ago. I guess my IBS is helping that composter do its job.
Think about yeah. Although it's foul, the fact that it's making something you and you were a part of for a larger cause.
Rachel nods, appreciating the sentiment. Despite the smell, she can't help but feel a sense of pride and connection to the process. Knowing that her IBS is helping create something bigger than itself is a strange but oddly comforting feeling. You're right, it is a little gross, but it's also kind of cool knowing that my IBS is playing a part in this whole cycle. Like I have a purpose, even if it's a stinky one.
Okay, let's get out of here. My nose falls off.
Rachel laughs, covering her nose with her hand to block out the smell. Good idea. I think I've had my fill of natural smells for one day. Let's move on to some less odorous areas of the garden. My nose will thank you later.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna end the video here because it's like it's an hour long, so it's gonna take forever to upload. So see you next time.